All Things Unexplained.
All right. Again, we're pleased to have Chrissy Smith from Patriot Muscle Health with us tonight, a fitness guru, a princess of the paranormal.
I love that title so much.
Did you just come up with that?
I've been thinking it for a while.
Oh. So, Chrissy, in our last
design me a mascot. I was like, I want it to be like an esoteric patriot because I don't know what's going to happen after I run for this office if I win or lose, but I'm already a winner. I'm just got to think about my next steps.
Yeah, well, it's good to keep a positive attitude. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You had mentioned in our last segment, Ishmael Perez. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you discovered him and what his influence is in your life and what we should know about him.
I don't know. I've always been a person that kind of resonates with just things. Well, that resonates with me. That feels good. That feels like it is true. So I watch BitChute and Rumble because mainstream media is lying to people, and so I think it's important to see what really is going on when people take their cameras out and they're showing stuff that's going in different places of the world. And one of my favorite interviewers is Nicholas Vinyamin, and he just allows people to speak freely, and you don't know if he agrees with them or not, but I just love the different topics that he has. There are esoteric in nature, but yet they deal with how can people break free from this matrix of a society that we are living in and trying to develop our own things, whether it's how we keep accountability with our money and not be in the corrupt banking system that controls this planet, to learning the toxins that are in our environment and how to get rid of them, whether it's decreasing the fluoride in your body, because we all know that fluoride is bad. And since I've been watching some of these channels and developing relationships with these people, they have opened up a lot of doors for me to get exposed to alternative treatments or alternative ways of thinking that probably other people may not, go into, just because you got to have an open mind for some of this stuff, And so some of the products that I'm on have allowed me to come off of fluoride. And I think that has caused me to have a decrease in inflammation, a decrease in brain fog, an increase in energy. And I'm tired right now, but I do a lot. I'm running for office. I have a full-time job, a part-time job, and I have a YouTube channel where I'm trying to promote myself. And so I think it's important that if you are wanting to become a content creator or you are wanting a goal, it's important that you need to look at people that you want to emulate and get that information from, and how did you do that? So that's why I like to keep an open mind. And, he's just my favorite interviewer. I like the way he asks questions. I like how he doesn't talk over his guest. And the questions are very thoughtful. And I have been able to, one of the guests that he had on there was Ishmael Perez. So I guess I'll talk to him. But that was his first time, coming out, that people were going to know who he was. And I was just fascinated by all these things that he knew. And I'm like, well, how did he know this stuff? And then the guy has pretty much, he said he sacrificed his life for about 20 years and became a hermit and just studied all this stuff about the history of our, not only our world, but the cosmos, and how we came to be on this planet, and who we really are, and what has been hidden from us because of the dark forces that are on this planet. And so just listening to him talk, and he always says the same thing, but it's not said in the same manner. So it's not like it's the same interview and it's cut and paste or whatever. He's discussing the same topics, but it's very genuine, and you can just tell that he he just wants people to know the truth, and that's what his purpose is. And he is just so excited to be here at this time, which I think we all should be. I think we are living through an interesting time where the corrupt systems that we have to only know, I'm not going to say love, because ain't nobody loving the government right now. And so, our education system, people aren't loving our education system. This is why they've gone to homeschool, or they've gone to co-op schools, or uh, church schools, or religious schools, where they can be more free to learn the way that they want to. Especially with homeschool. If you are interested in a topic, why not focus more on that topic? More like be like a Montessori school. Why are we continuing to teach our kids these things that they don't care about? Yes, everybody needs to know how to write. Everybody needs to know how to do math. Those are the basic fundamentals. But outside of that, I mean,
Yeah, there's a whole world.
if you are interested in drawing, why don't you cultivate that? Why do we have to do all these different subjects? Now, I do believe in health and wellness, and we need to get outside, and we need to treat physical activity as fun and not physical activity as a punishment for something that I ate. And so,
Yes.
I think that there is an opportunity for, we are human beings. We need to keep ourselves healthy. If we don't keep ourselves healthy, we're not going to be able to do what God has called us to do. And so, being outside and getting vitamin D and moving your body and eating natural foods, all of these things, and decreasing the fluoride help you heal your body from the inside out, help you decalcify your pineal gland so you can reach your potential, and you can know what your true not destiny or mission rather, or why you came, and you end up realizing all these experiences that you've been on have allowed you to be here at this moment, at this time. And pretty soon, like, the curtain's going to drop, and there's going to be a lot of people that are confused about, everything. And, you realize all the things that you've done, and all these little rabbit holes that you've gone down, and it's like you start putting all the pieces together, and after a while you can't just have all these coincidences, and so numerically it's just impossible. So you guys need to probably check out gematria. It is very cool, the study of gematria. It is numerology, and how if A is 1 and Z is 26, the letters of the alphabet spell out numbers. And so if you look into Tom Numbers, is a good person to look up, because he basically will do, it's like scriptic writing, all these cues that God talks to us by using numerology through the English language, and it spells out phrases, and they basically are the same numbers,
May I ask, where, if you were into numerology, where should you look to discover this? Like, where should I be looking to decode numerology?
Like you can do it yourself. It just takes time. I mean, some of these people that I follow probably have a whole list, and it's like, okay, 125 equals this, 78
But would
equals
you use it
this. So
like,
what
are
I
you
would,
using it to
I would watch
decode
Tom
books?
Numbers. I'd watch Tom Numbers. He hasn't gotten kicked off of YouTube yet. You can find him on Rumble. I mean, I'm serious. Like, on YouTube has gotten to the point where you can't say certain words or you're going to get kicked off.
Right.
And so they have to skirt around it and say it in a certain way, so that they can keep their channel up. And so all the people that I have followed are not on YouTube anymore. So they've either created their own platform, or they're on BitChute and Rumble. And so that's where I choose to look for information. And when you start looking at it, it's just like, it makes so much more sense than this matrix of a crappy life that we're living. There is so much abundance in the world, and it's been kept from us.
Yes. And like you said, getting out and exercising, keeping healthy just certainly gives you mental clarity and allows you to think about other things and think for yourself. But I do want to go back to the numerology. where would I apply it? Like if I'm reading a book, would I try and decode things, or where are we looking for these messages?
I would start with your name.
Oh, okay.
What
Should be
I would
easy
start with your
for
name.
CJ.
And
Easy math.
start with your name and add it up. Just start with and just do your name. See what that adds up to, and then just look it up online and say gematria for the number 7-8, and you can see. This is why I would watch Tom Numbers, because he does it from a biblical standpoint, and I think that it's very cool. Because again, that's how God communicates with us, is through numerology. But I think it's important to also know your name, because your name is important also to know exactly for your birth chart. You know, what was your mission when you came here? What lessons were supposed to learn when you came to this planet? There's 12. Which ones were you? And I interviewed somebody named Ossie Steinberg from Israel, and she wrote a book called The 12 Lessons of Humanity. And she goes through each one and what they're supposed to be. And I could see myself like, oh, that must be me, and that must be me. But I think one of the biggest, even having these conversations with people, you realize things in your own life. It's like, well, why don't I have that? Why is that person not giving that to me? And instead of thinking about it from their standpoint of why they're not doing it, it's like, what do I have to learn from this experience? Why am I not getting the support? Did I do something in a previous lifetime that I'm bringing here? And this is karmatic energy, and I have to live through this because maybe in a previous lifetime, I didn't support somebody else. And so now I'm understanding what it feels like not to get support. So each time that you have a lifetime, it circles like this up higher and higher. So this is a low density planet. I call it like a third dimensional frequency planet. And so when you start having like these higher vibrational conversations, and you start learning to heal yourself and tap into your frequency of why you're here and have those deep conversations with yourself. I'm my best friend. I'm the coolest person I know. You know, and my favorite thing is just to go outside or just chill out and have conversations with myself. I learned so much by being quiet. God gave us 2 eyes and 2 ears and 1 mouth.
I gotta tell my kids that.
Chrissy, we have a listener question for you. Longtime listener George Winter said, sorry I got in late tonight, but how did you get into numerology, Chrissy? And also he wants to know, as someone who knows really nothing about it, what should he know?
So the basic fundamentals is I'm gonna I want you to look up something, okay? Because the way that it's almost 3 hours long, okay? So you can listen to it, and then some of it gets a little deep, okay? But they basically do I thought, a really good job of numerology, and it did not bore me. Negative 48 is on there, and he bores me a little bit just because his voice is a little monotone, but he still gives good information. It's called the Jesus Strand Part 1. The Jesus Strand Part 1. And it talks about the lineage of Jesus and now what is going on and how it ties into Revelations. And they talk about like, they break down numerology. And I mean, it's just after a while, you just can't have all those coincidences. It's a great example to watch. I would watch that. The other person that I would follow is Tom Numbers, and he is on YouTube, and he probably posts things on Rumble that you cannot get on YouTube. But basically, these are the people that I would follow just to see if it interests you, you know, because sometimes you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. And then you start watching somebody who I think is good, and you're like, well, I don't really care about that. Let me give this other, person a try. That's why I gave you 2 different examples. And the Jesus Strand has 4 different speakers in it within 3 hours. But I would just type in numerology into, I don't use Google. I would use DuckDuckGo or another interface. And then gematria is what it's called.
Okay.
Gematria.
So we are going to figure out our names in numerology tomorrow. That's our goal.
And so letter A would be 1 and Z would be 26. But I really would watch the Jesus Strand. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. It's a little bit woo-woo, because you're looking at all this stuff. Kind of get past that. You're mainly just listening to it to kind of see examples of how they put words together. It's very cool.
So just as sort of a concise way to define it, what I'm understanding is that it is a way to decode messages that were maybe sent to us from some type of divine intervention. Okay.
I would look up, they're calling it phantom. I would look up what phantom, what that gematria number is.
Okay.
Another thing that you would look at numerology, okay? If you look at satanic cultism, okay? A lot of people are thinking that this coming Saturday may be a significant event. There are whispers of you will want to remember where you were on this date, because 9, and then 2 plus 4 is 6, and then 2022, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. If you invert the 9, that's a 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. 666. So a lot of the things that you will see decoding on these things break down events and kind of show patterns and how they possibly could have been planned already as a way just to inflict harm on humanity, because the evildoers live off of our suffering. So it's important to just always keep yourself in high vibe spirits. Today I'm thinking about all the things that happened. My mom had her house broken into. I'm behind on work because I went to go help her. I had a dead battery. I can't find my phone. But I'm like, okay, what good thing happened today? Because it sucks that I lost my phone, but I found in the process my cat's leash, and I found my battery charger that I was missing. And if my mom had not gotten her house broken into and I had not gone to go see her last night, I would not have been able to get to work today, because I used her car to get to work because my car had died. So I think about those 3 things. I'm not thinking about the phone. It's going to turn up. And if it doesn't, I canceled it. And, it is what it is. Be worried about it, you'll bring it back.
The fourth good thing is that you're here with us. So
yeah, this is cool. See, I love to have meaningful, esoteric conversations like this. And that way of thinking, I'm not good at it. It's still always a work in progress. Is 5th dimensional thinking. 3rd dimensional would be, I'm tired. I don't want to be here. I'm going to cancel tonight, and I'm going to drink a beer because all these things happened to me. That's what a lot of people would have done.
Yeah.
But
we persevere.
But I got to interview Miss United States today on my channel.
That's pretty exciting.
That is really cool. Yeah, that is really great. Speaking of, sorry, go ahead, Tim.
Well, I just wanted to say, I noticed in our chat we might have some listeners that don't understand numerology, and that's fine. That's fine. Maybe they're a little skeptical, but I want to point out that it really ties together with a lot of what we've heard from previous guests in terms of synchronicity, really, in terms of crystals, in terms of energy, in terms of Palladian star seeds, the Galactic Federation, in terms of, yes, astrophysics. So be careful what you speculate. Albert Einstein at one point worked years and years on trying to develop a mathematical equation of everything. A mathematical, numerical equation of everything. He firmly believed, he did not accomplish this, but he believed that such an equation did exist. We have some of the most brilliant astrophysicists on the planet come on our show, and they say, you know what? I'm not sure if I believe in God or whatever you want to call your divine being, but we all see a divine architect, a divine symmetry and architecture to the universe, a mathematical symmetry to everything. We believe that if we ever do communicate with extraterrestrial beings, that it could possibly be through mathematics. So when you think about these things that are beyond our comprehension, the mathematics, the quantum mechanics of it all, the theory of everything, the fact we cannot deny the divine architecture of the universe that surrounds us, then we need to be more open-minded to things that do involve, numerology, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the paranormal, etc. Because one thing we've shown, hey, it seems to all be tied together.
Well, that was beautifully said. Where did that come from, Tim?
I've been thinking about it.
Hey guys, in the chat, I put the person's name for YouTube, and then I put the Jesus Strand Part 1. And if you look down there, there's the link to that video in the chat.
Right.
Unless I put guest chat, that's where I commented. Do you see it,
that
Tim?
might not be the right one. That will be the one that we can see, and then we can share it with our users.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Great.
need to pull that up.
So one thing that you had mentioned earlier, and I want to touch on it real quick before we go, is the Galactic Federation. You had mentioned that maybe Ishmael Perez is like the president of I can't remember the term you used, the Galactic Federation. So for those of us that aren't quite as knowledgeable about this, tell me what the Galactic Federation is.
I think, in my opinion, I've done a little bit of research, but, I'm always on the go. So, I'll listen to certain parts. I think the Galactic Federation is the Galactic Federation of Worlds. And they are high dimensional beings that probably operate on a higher level of consciousness. That's probably like level 12. That's why they want to kill this planet, is because we have the ability to go to the 12th dimension. And once they get past that, then they can go up even higher. And so that's why they're trying to stop it here at the 3rd. So I just think that once you kind of change your frequency and stuff, you can actually probably communicate with some of these entities, on a higher level place, but they can't do it if you have negative frequencies and you are operating on a lower vibrational level. So maybe they communicate with you through animals, or they can, a lot of times I feel, and I don't know if it's God or angels or whatever, when I'm outside and I'm walking my cat and I'm in nature, it's almost like downloads, because I'm like, this information, how do I know this? So this is such a good idea. It's really not mine. It doesn't feel like your own, but it's good and it's creative. And it's like, that's how I connect, I guess, to source in that way. So the Galactic Federation, the Earth is in trouble. And I think that there was a call that was put out into the cosmos. And you have to understand, when you drop a sound like that, it spreads out. And then with that vibration out, it takes a while for that vibration frequency to come back. And so I think that that's what is coming back, the vibrational frequency. So there's a lot of stuff I think that's going on, in the cosmos. I think that we are headed into 1,000 years of peace. And that once that is over, that is when the high human beings that are... once all the negative stuff gets out of this planet, which is coming, that humanity will be at higher levels of consciousness in order to defeat the big AI. That's going to be the War of Worlds. And that is going to be in 1,000 years, after 1,000 years of peace.
So it sounds like the Galactic Federation is something that we should fear right now? It sounds kind of a little scary.
I don't think that they are going to show themselves. Like I said, I don't think that humanity can see them.
Okay.
I think that we operate on such a lower density level that they aren't showing to us. There are people that see them. You interview people that see them. Why can't we? I see people. I watch people on YouTube that say, "Yeah, I see the spaceships in the sky." I'm like, I look up in the sky all the time. I don't see no spaceship. I'm trying. I'm like, here I am.
You've got your poster. Take me.
Yeah.
Well, fun. Well, Chrissy, you've got so much going on. We appreciate you coming on the show, but tell our listeners where they can find more of you. If they want to listen more, or where can they go?
Well, I'm on Patriot Muscle Health on YouTube, and I'm using it as an opportunity to advertise for myself as a candidate for State House. So even if, things don't work out like I want to, at least I have the YouTube channel, which is what I really want to do, which is to help people understand how to heal themselves on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. And once you do that, your body shows physically the expression of the healing that you've done inside. And so that's what the channel is about. And so I'm just interested in interviewing people that want to help people understand who they truly are, and who inspire people to just go for it. Do what you want to do what your calling is. The resources will come. Don't have fear.
Lovely.
Well said. You know what? I think we may have figured something out tonight between these two segments.
What's that?
It's the Galactic Federation.
Yes. And guess what? The UAP astronomer, the Ukrainian astronomers, they may have figured out how to see the emissaries from the Galactic Federation. You just got to tune your cameras in right. They're going 33,000 miles per hour.
Fallen star.
CJ and I both got accused of potentially being members of the Galactic Federation.
That's awesome.
I know, it was kind of cool.
You know what? I've gone way past that. Okay, they're going to just throw me straight in the nut house after what I said.
I don't think so. I think
this
that
girl's
it is
crazy. But I think it's interesting. Just listen to an open eye. Open eye, an open ear, and an open eye. The truth is right there for you to see. Yeah. You just
gotta. Like the Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys said, you gotta open up your ears and clean out your eyes.
That's right.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Chrissy.
You're welcome.
It's been another great night. Stay unexplained, everybody. Good night, CJ. Good night, Chrissy.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Suella.
Oh, good night.
All things unexplained.